Hi friends, my name is Nandita. I am from Andhra Pradesh.
Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss about structural organization in animals, chapter 7 from CBSE syllabus class plus 1. Children, in the preceding chapters, you come across a large variety of organisms, both unicellular and multicellular, of the animal kingdom. In unicellular organisms, all functions like digestion, respiration, and reproduction are performed by a single cell. In the complex body of multicellular animals, the same basic functions are carried out by different groups of cells in well organized manner. The body of simple organisms like Hydra is made up of different types of cells, and the number of cells in each type can be in thousands. The human body is composed of billions of cells to perform various functions. How to do these cells in the body work together? In multicellular animals, a group of similar cells along with intercellular substance perform a specific function. Such an organization is called tissue. Children, you may be surprised to know that all complex animals consist of only 4 basic types of tissues. These tissues are organized in a specific proportion and patterns to form an organ like stomach, lung, heart, and kidney. When two or more organs perform a common function by their physical and or chemical interaction, they together form an organ system. Example: digestive system, respiratory system, etc. So, cells, tissues, organs, and organ system split up the work in a way that exhibit division of labor and contribute to the survival of a body as a whole. Children, now let us discuss about the definition of tissue. Tissue means a group of cells working together to bring out a function is known as tissue. The advantages of tissue in a multicellular organism is division of labor. Let's discuss about animal tissue. Animal tissue mainly categorized into epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, nerve tissue. Again, this epithelial tissue divides into squamous tissue, cuboidal tissue, columnar tissue, ciliated tissue, glandular tissue. Come to connective tissue. Connective tissue undergoes for areolar, adipose, skeletal, and fluid. Come to areolar, tendon and ligament. Divides into bone and cartilage. Come to fluid, blood, and lymph. Children, now let us discuss in detail about these animal tissues. The structure of cells vary according to their function. Therefore, the tissues are different and are broadly classified into mainly 4 types, that is epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and neural tissue. Now let us discuss about first epithelial tissue. The word epithelium was introduced by Rorschach. We commonly refer to an epithelial tissue as epithelium. This tissue has a free surface which faces either a body fluid or the outside of environment, and thus provides a covering or a lining for same part of the body. The cells are compactly packed with little intercellular matrix. There are 2 types of epithelial tissues, mainly simple epithelium tissue and compound epithelium tissue. The compound epithelium tissue consists of 2 or more cell layers and has protective function as it does in our skin. Now let us discuss about the classification of epithelial tissue. First, let us discuss about simple epithelium. Simple epithelium is a simple in structure and basically formed by single layer cells. Simple epithelium is composed of a single layer of cells and functions as a lining for body activity, ducts and tubes. On the basis of structural modification of the cells, simple epithelium is further divided into three types. There are squamous, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated epithelium. Let us discuss about simple squamous epithelium. The squamous epithelium is made up of a single thin layer of flattened cells with irregular boundaries. They are found in the walls of blood vessels and air sacs of lungs and are involved in functions like forming a diffusion boundary. Simple cuboidal. The simple cuboidal epithelium is composed of a single layer of cube-like cells. This is commonly found in ducts of glands and tubular parts of nephrons in kidney, and its main functions are secretion and absorption. The epithelium of proximal convoluted tubule of nephron in the kidney has microvilli. Simple columnar epithelium. The columnar epithelium is composed of a single layer of tall and cylinder cells. Their nuclei are located at the base. Free surface may have microvilli. They are found in the lining of stomach and intestine and help in secretion and absorption. Simple ciliated epithelium. If the columnar or cuboidal cells bear cilia on their free surface, they are called ciliated epithelium. Their function is to move particles or mucus in a specific direction over the epithelium. They are mainly present in the inner surface of hollow organs like bronchioles and fallopian tubes. Some of the columnar or cuboidal cells get specialized for secretion and are called glandular epithelium. They are mainly of two types. Unicellular consists of isolated glandular cells, and multicellular consists of cluster of cells like salivary glands. On the basis of the mode of pouring of their secretion, glands are divided into two categories, mainly exoserine and endoserine glands. Exoserine glands secretes mucus, saliva, earwax, oil, milk, digestive enzymes and other cell products. These products are released through ducts or tubes. It contrasts endoserine glands do not have ducts. Their products called hormones, they secrete directly into the fluid battering the gland. Now let us discuss about compound epithelium. This type of epithelium is made up of more than one layer of cells. It is protective in nature and present in skin, lining of buccal cavity, pancreatic ducts, etc. Compound epithelium is made up of more than one layer of cells and thus has a limited role in secretion and absorption. Their main function is to provide protection against chemical and mechanical stresses. They cover the dry surface of the skin, the moist surface of buccal cavity, pharynx, inner lining of ducts, of salivary glands, and of pancreatic ducts. All cells in epithelium are held together with a little intercellular material. In nearly all animal tissues, specialized junctions provide both structural and functional links between its individual cells. Three types of cells junctions are found in the epithelium and other tissues. They are called as tight, adhering, and gap functions. Tight functions help to stop substance from leaking across a tissue. Adhering junctions perform cementing to keep neighboring cells together. Gap junctions facilitate to the cell to communicate with each other by connecting the cytoplasm of adjoining cells for rapid transfer of ions, small molecules, and sometimes big molecules. Now let us discuss about connective tissue. Connective tissue is mainly divided again into three types. One is connective tissues proper, and second one is skeletal tissues, third one is vascular tissue. Come to the connective tissues proper. Again, it's divided into areolar tissue, adipose tissue, white fibrous tissue, yellow elastic tissue, reticular tissues. Come to skeletal system tissues are cartilage, bone, as we discussed. Again, this cartilage undergoes for hyaline, fibrous, classified, and fibrous for white and elastic. Come to the bone, compact bone and spongy bone. Vascular tissues are blood and lymph. Connective tissue was called mesenchyma by Hartwig in 1893. Connective tissues are most abundant and widely distributed in the body of complex animals. They are named connective tissues because of their special functions of linking and supporting other tissues, organs of the body. They arrange from soft connective tissues to specialized types, which include cartilage, bone, adipose, and blood. In all connective tissues except blood, the cells secrete fibers of structural proteins called collagen or elastin. The fibers provide strength, elasticity, and flexibility to the tissue. These cells are also secrete modified polysaccharides which accumulate between cells and fibers and act as matrix, means ground substance. Connective tissues are classified into three types: loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, and specialized connective tissue. First, let us discuss about loose connective tissue. Loose connective tissue has cells and fibers loosely arranged in a semi-fluid ground substance. For example, areolar tissue present beneath the skin. Often it serves as a support framework for epithelium. It contains fibroblast, macrophages, and mast cells. Adipose tissue is another type of loose connective tissue located mainly beneath the skin. The cells of this tissue are specialized to store fats. The excess of nutrients which are not used immediately and converted into fats and are stored in this tissue. Fibrous and fibroblasts are compactly packed in the dense connective tissue. Orientation of fibers show a regular or irregular pattern, and cells are dense regular and dense irregular tissue. In the dense regular connective tissues, the collagen fibers are present in two rows, mainly parallel bundles of fibers. Tendons, which attach skeletal muscles to bones, and ligaments, which attach one bone to another, are the examples of this tissue. Dense irregular connective tissue has fibroblasts and many fibers, mostly collagen. They are oriented differently. This tissue is present in the skin. Now let us discuss about dense connective tissue. As the name suggested, the cells of the dense connective tissue are tightly bound. Matrix of dense connective tissue contain fibers that are made up of collagen. Example, tendons and ligaments. Tendons attach muscles to bones, whereas ligaments connect bone to bone. Specialized tissue, connective tissue. Cartilage, bone, and bloods are the various types of specialized connective tissue. The intercellular material of cartilage is solid and pliable and resist compression. Cells of these tissues are enclosed in a small cavities within the matrix secreted by them. Most of the cartilages in invertebrate embryos are replaced by bones in adults. Cartilage. Cartilage is present in the tip of nose, outer ear joints, between adjacent bones of the vertebral column, limbs and hands in adults. It is an elastic movement tissue. There are three types of cartilage found in humans, that is hyaline cartilage, elastic cartilage, and fibrocartilage. It is meant for providing flexibility to the different parts of the body. Bones. Bones have a hard and non-pliable ground substance rich in calcium salts and collagen fibers, which give bone its strength. It is the main tissue that provides structural framework to the body. Bones support and protect softer tissues and organs. The bone cells are present in the space called lacunae. Limb bones, such as the long bones, are the of the legs serve weight bearing functions. They also interact with skeletal muscles attached to them to bring about movements. Blood. Blood is considered as connective tissue because it connects different body systems from transport of oxygen, nutrients, and for removal of waste. Cells found in the blood are also follows. Erythrocytes or red blood cells are enucleated cells that helps in transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide. It contains a pigment hemoglobin that helps in transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide. The central atom found in hemoglobin is Fe2+. Leukocytes or white blood cells are of two types, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes contain granules in the cytoplasm. It includes neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. Agranulocytes includes monocytes, macrophages, and lymphocytes. The bone marrow in some bones is the site of production of blood cells. Blood is a fluid connective tissue containing plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. It is the main circulating fluid that helps in transportation of various substances. You will learn about blood in chapters 17 and 18. Now let us discuss about muscle tissue. Muscle tissue is a soft tissue which compresses muscles in animal bodies. The cells of muscle tissues are called myocytes. Each muscle is made up of many long cylindrical fibers arranged in a parallel rays. These fibers are composed of numerous fine fibrils called myofibrils. Muscle fibrils contract in response to stimulation, then relaxation, and then returns to their uncontracted state in a coordinated fashion. This action moves the body to adjust to the changes in the environment and to maintain the positions of the various parts of the body. In general, muscles play an active role in all the movements of the body. Muscles are of three types: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Let us discuss about skeletal muscle tissue. Is closely attached to skeleton bones. In a typical muscles such as the biceps, striated skeletal muscle fibers are bundled together in a parallel fashion. A sheet of tough connective tissue encloses the several bundles of muscle fibers, and you will learn about this in chapter 20. Smooth muscle fibers. Smooth muscle fibers taper at both ends and do not show striations. Cell junctions hold them together, and they organs such as the blood vessels, stomach, and intestine contains this type of muscle tissue. Smooth muscles are involuntary as their functions cannot be directly controlled. We usually are not able to make it contact merely by thinking about it as we can do with skeletal muscles. Cardiac muscle tissue. Cardiac muscle tissue. Cardiac muscle is a contractile tissue present only in the heart. Cell junctions fuse the plasma membranes of cardiac muscle cells and make them stick together. Communication junctions at the same fusion points allow the cells to contract as a unit, that is, when one cell receives a signal to contact, its neighbors are also stimulated to contact. Now let us discuss about nerve tissue. Nerve tissues are divided into neurons, neuronuclear cells, ependymoidal cells, neurosecretory cells. Again, these neurons divided into cell body, nerve fibers. Again, the cell body undergoes for unipolar, bipolar, and multipolar. Comes to nerve fibers, it divided into medulated and non-medulated. Nerve tissues exert the greatest control over the body responsiveness to changing conditions. Neurons, the unit of neural system, are excitable cells. The neurological cells which constitute the rest of the neural system protect and support neurons. Neuroglia make up more than one half the volume of neural tissue our body. When a neuron is suitably stimulated, an electric disturbance is generated which swiftly travels along its plasma membrane. Arrival of the disturbance at the neuron's ending or out zone triggers events that may cause stimulations or inhibition of adjust your neurons and other cells. You will study the details in chapter 21. Now let us discuss about organ and organ system. The basic tissues mentioned above organized to form organs, which in turn associated to form organ system in the multicellular organisms. Such an organization is essential for more efficient and better coordinated activities of millions of cells constituting organism. Each organ in our body is made up of one or more type of tissues. For example, our heart consists of all the four types of tissues like epithelial, connective, muscle and neural. We also notice after some careful study that the complexity in organ and organ system displays certain discernible trend. This discernible trend is called evolutionary trend. You will study detailed in class 12. You are being introduced to morphology and anatomy of three organisms at different evolutionary levels to show their organization and functions. Morphology refers to the study of externally visible features. In the case of plants or microbes, the term morphology precisely means only this. In case of animals, this study refers to the external appearance of the organs or parts of the body. The word anatomy conventionally is used for the study of morphology of internal organs in the animals. You will learn the morphology and anatomy of earthworm, cockroach and frog representing invertebrates and vertebrates. Children, first let us discuss about earthworm. Earthworm is a reddish brown terrestrial invertebrate that inhabits the upper layer of the moist soil. During daytime, they live in burrows made up by boring and swallowing the soil. In the gardens, they can be traced by the facial deposits known as worm casting. The common Indian earthworms are Perithema and Lumbricus. Let us discuss the morphology of earthworm. Earthworms have long cylindrical body. The body is divided into more than hundreds short segments which are similar, means metameters, about 100 to 120 in number. The dorsal surface of the body is marked by a dark median mid-dorsal line and along the longitudinal axis of the body. The ventral surface is distinguished by the presence of the genital opening, means pores. The anterior end consists of the mouth and the posterior a lobe which serves as a covering for the mouth and has a wedge to force open cracks in the soil into which the earthworm may crawl. The posterior is sensory in function. The first body segment is called peristomium, means buccal segment which contains the mouth. In mature worms, segments 14 to 16 are covered by prominent dark band of glandular tissue called luteolum. Thus, the body is divisible into three prominent regions: preluteal, luteal, and postluteal segments. Four pairs of spermatical apparatus are situated on the ventrolateral sides of the intersegmental grooves, that is 5th to 9th segments. A single of female genital pore is present in the mid-ventral line of 14th segment. A pair of male genital pores are present on the ventrolateral sides of the 18th segment. Numerous minute pores are called nephridiospores open on the surface of the body. In each body segment except the first, last and cilium, there are rows of shaped setae embedded in the epidermal pits in the middle of each segment. Setae can be extended or retracted. Their principal role is in locomotion. Now let us study the anatomy of earthworm. The body of the earthworm is covered externally by a thin non-cellular cuticle below which is the epidermis. Two muscle layers means circular and longitudinal and an innermost coulommic epithelium. The epidermis is made up of a single layer of columnar epithelial cells which contain secretory glands. The alimentary canal is straight tube and runs between first to last segment of the body. A terminal mouth into the buccal cavity from 1 to 3 segments which leads into muscular pharynx. A small narrow tube esophagus present between 5 to 7 segments continues into a muscular zigzag 8 to 9 segments. It helps in grinding the soil, particles and decaying leaves, etc. The stomach extends from 9 to 14 segments. The food of the earthworm is decaying leaves and organic matter mixed with soil. Calciferous glands present in the stomach neutralize the humic acid present in humus. Intestine starts from the segments onwards and continues till the last segment. A pair of short and conical intestinal ciliae project from the intestine on the 26th segment. The characteristic feature of the intestine after 26th segment, except the last 23rd and 25th segment, is the presence of internal median fold of dorsal wall called tymphanozole. That increases the effective area of a absorption in the intestine. The alimentary canal opens to the exterior by a small rounded apparatus called anus. The ingested organ rich soil passes through the digestive tract where digestive enzymes break down complex food into smaller absorbable units. These simpler molecules are absorbed through intestinal membrane and are utilized. Peritoneum exhibits a closed type of blood vascular system, consists of blood vessels, capillaries and heart. Due to closed blood circulatory system, blood is confined to the heart and blood vessels. Contraction keeps blood circulating in one direction. Smaller blood vessels supply the gut, nerve cord and the body wall. Blood glands are present on 4th, 5th and 6th segments. They produce blood cells and hemoglobin which is dissolved in blood plasma. Blood cells are phagocytic in nature. Earthworms lack specialized breathing devices. Respiratory exchange occurs through the moist surface into their bloodstream. They excrete organs occur segmentally arranged coiled tubules called nephridia. These nephridia are three types. These are septal nephridia present on both sides of the intersegmental septa of segment 15 to the last that opens into intestine. integumentary nephridia attached to lining of the body wall segment third to last that opens on the body surface, and pharyngeal nephridia present as the third pair stuff in the fourth, fifth, sixth segments. These different types of nephridia are basically similar in structure. Nephridia regulate the volume and composition of the body fluids. A nephridium starts out as a funnel that collects excess fluid from a coulombic chamber. The funnel connects with a tubular part of the nephridium which delivers the waste through a pore to the surface in the body wall into the digestive tube. Nerve system is basically represented by a ganglia arranged segment-wise on the ventral paired nerve cord. The nerve cord in the anterior region, third and fourth segments, bifurcates laterally and circling the pharynx and joins the cerebral ganglia dorsally to form a nerve ring. The cerebral ganglia, along with the other nerves in the ring, integrate sensory input as well as command muscular response of the body. Sensory does not have eyes but do possess light and touch sensitive organs to distinguish the light in intensities and to feel the vibrations in the ground. Worms have specialized chemoreceptors, means taste receptors, which react to chemical stimuli. These sense organs are located in the anterior part of the worm. Earthworm is hermaphrodite, means bisexual, that is, testes and ovaries are present in the same individual. There are two pairs of testes in the 10th and 11th segments. There was a differentia run up to the 18th segment where they join the prostatic duct. Two pairs of accessory glands are present, one pair each in the 17th and 19th segments. The common prostate and spermatic duct opens to the anterior by a pair of male genital pore on the ventral lateral side of the 18th segment. Four pairs of spermataceae are located in 6th and 9th segments, means one pair in each segment. They receive and store spermatozoa during copulation. One pair of ovaries is attached to the internal segmental septum of the 12th and 13th segments. Ovarian funnels are present beneath the ovaries, which continue into oviduct, join together and open on the ventral side, has a single median female genital pore on the 14th segment. A mutual exchange of sperms occur between two worms during mating. One worm has to find another worm and they mate opposite gonadal openings, exchanging packets of sperms called spermatospores. Mature sperms and egg cells or nutritive fluid are deposited in cocoons produced by the gland cells of Ciliellum. Fertilization and development occurs within the cocoons which are deposited in the soil. The ova are fertilized by the sperm cells within the cocoon, which then slips off the worms. It is deposited in or on the soil. The cocoons holds the worms embryos. After about 3 weeks, each cocoon produces 2 to 20 baby worms with an average of 4. Development of earthworm is directed, that is, there is no larva form. Earthworms are known as friends for farmers because they make burrows in the soil and make it porous, which helps in respiration and penetration of the developing plant roots. The process of increasing fertility of soil by earthworms is called vermicomposting. They are also used as baiting in game fishing. Now let us discuss about morphology and anatomy of cockroach. Cockroaches are brown or black bodied animals that are included in class Insecta of phylum Arthropoda. Bright yellow, red and green color cockroaches have also been reported in tropical regions. The size ranges from 1 by 4 inches to 3 inches and have long antennae, legs and flat extension of the upper body wall that conceals head. They are nocturnal omnivorous that live in damp places throughout the world. They have become residents of human homes and thus they are serious pets and victors of several diseases. Now let us study the morphology of cockroach. The adults of the common species of cockroach, Periplanta americana, are about 34 to 53 long with the wings that are extend beyond the tip of the abdomen in males. The body of the cockroach is segmented and divisible into three distinct regions. These are head, thorax and abdomen. The entire body is covered by a hard chitinous exoskeleton, means brown in color. In each segment, exoskeleton has hardened plates called sclerites and spermites. They are joined each other by a thin and flexible articular membrane called arthrodial membrane. Head is triangular in shape and lies anteriorly at right angles to the longitudinal body axis. It is formed by the fusion of 6 segments and shows great mobility in all directions due to the flexibility neck. The head capsule bears a pair of compound eyes. A pair of thread-like antennae arises from a membranous sockets lying in front of eyes. Antennae have sensory receptors that help in monitoring the environment. Anterior end of the head bears appendages forming biting and chewing type of mouth parts. The mouth parts consisting of a labrum, means upper lip, a pair of mandibles and a pair of maxillae, and a labium, means lower lip, and a median flexible lobe acting as a tongue. Hypopharynx lies within the cavity closed by the mouth parts. Thorax consists of 3 parts: prothorax, mesothorax and metathorax. The head is connected by thorax by a short extension of the prothorax known as a neck. Each thorax segment bears a pair of walking legs. The first pair of wings arises from mesothorax and the second pair from metathorax. 4 wings are called tegmina or oblique, dark and leathery, and cover the hind wings when at rest. The hind wings are transparent, membranous and are used in flight. The abdomen in both males and females consists of 10 segments. In female, the 7th sternum is boat shaped and together with the 8th and 9th sternum forms a broad or genital pouch whose anterior part contains male gonopores, spermatical pores and collateral glands. In male, genital pouch or chamber lies at the hind end of abdomen, bounded dorsally by 9th and 10th terga and ventrally by 9th sternum. It consists dorsal anus, ventral male genital pore and gonapophysis. Male bears a pair of short thread-like anal styles which are absent in females. In both sexes, the 10th segment bears a pair of joint filamentous structures called anal cerci. Anatomy. The alimentary canal is present in the both body cavity is divided into 3 regions that are foregut, midgut and hindgut. The mouth opens into a short tubular pharynx leading to a narrow tubular passage called esophagus. This is turned open into a sac-like structure called crop used for sorting of food. The crop is followed by zigzag proventriculus. It has an outer layer of thick circular muscles and thick inner cuticle forming 6 highly chitinous plate called teeth. The zigzag helps in grinding the food particles. The entire foregut is lined by cuticle. A ring of 6 to 8 blind. It has an outer layer of thick circular muscles and thick inner cuticle forming 6 highly chitinous plate called teeth. Zigzag helps in grinding the food particles. The entire foregut is lined by cuticle. A ring of 6 to 8 blind tubules called hepatic or gastric cilicia is present at the junction of foregut and midgut, which secretes digestive juice. At the junction of midgut and hindgut is present another ring of 100 to 50 yellow colored thin filamentous Malpighian tubules. They help in removal of excretory products from hemolymph. The hindgut is broad than midgut and is differentiated into ileum, colon and rectum. The rectum opens through anus. Blood vascular system of cockroach is an open type. Blood vessels are poorly developed and open into space hemocoel. Visceral organs located in the hemocoel are bathed in blood. The hemolymph is composed of colorless plasma and hemocytes. Heart of cockroach consists of elongated muscular tube lying along mid-dorsal line of thorax and abdomen. It is differentiated into funnel-shaped chambers with ostia on either side. Blood from sinus enters heart through ostia and it is pumped anteriorly to sinus again. Respiratory system consists of network of tracheae that opens through 10 pairs of small holes called spiracles present on the lateral side of the body. Thin branching tracheal tubes subdividing into tracheoles carrying oxygen from the air to all parts. The opening of spiracles is irregulated by the sphincters. Exchange of gases takes place to the tracheoles by diffusion. Excretion is performed by Malpighian tubes. Each tubule is lined by glandular and ciliated cells. They absorb nitrogenous waste products and convert them into uric acid, which is excreted through the hindgut. Therefore, this insect is called uriculotylic. In addition, the fat body, nephrocytes and uricose glands also help in excretion. The nerve system of cockroach is spread throughout the body. The head holds a bit of nerve system while the rest is situated along the ventral part of its body. So now you can understand that if the head of a cockroach is cut off, it will still alive for as long as 1 week. In the head region, the brain is represented by supraesophageal ganglion, which supplies nerves to antenna and compound eyes. In cockroach, the sense organs are antenna, eye, maxillary pulps, labial pulps, anal cerci, etc. The compound eyes are situated at the dorsal surface of the head. Each eye consists of about 2000 hexagonal ommatidia. With the help of several ommatidia, a cockroach can receive several images of an object. This kind of version is known as a mosaic version, with more sensitive but less resolution being common during night. Cockroaches are dioecious and both sexes have well developed reproductive organs. Male reproductive system consists of a pair of testes, one lying on each lateral side in the 4th, 6th abdominal segments. From each testis arises a thin vas deferens which opens into ejaculatory duct through Null vessel. Each ejaculatory duct opens into male gonophore situated ventral to anus. A characteristic mushroom-shaped gland is present in the 6th, 7th abdominal segments, which functions as an accessory reproductive gland. The internal genitalia are represented by a male gonophysis or phallomere, means chitinous symmetrical structures surrounded by the male gonophore. The sperms are stored in the seminal vessels and are gulfed together in the form of bundles called spermatophores, which are discharged during copulation. The female reproductive system consists of two large ovaries lying lateral in the second and sixth abdominal segments. Each ovary is formed by a group of 8 ovarian tubules or ovarioles containing a chain of developing ova. Oviducts of each ovary unit into a single median oviduct, also called vagina, which opens into the genital chamber. A pair of spermataceae is present in the sixth segment, which opens into genital chamber. Sperms are transformed through spermatospores. Their fertilized eggs are encased in capsules called oothecae. Oothecae is a dark reddish blackish brown capsule about 3-8 millimeters long. They are dropped or gulfed to a suitable surface, usually in a crack or receive of highly relative humidity near a food source. On an average, females produce 9 to 10 oothecae, each containing 14 to 6 eggs. The development of P. american is purometabolism, meaning there is a development through nymphal stage. The nymphs look very much like adults. The nymph grows by molting about 13 times to reach the adult form. The next to the last nymphal stage has wing pads, but only adult cockroaches have wings. Many species of cockroaches are wild and are of no known economic importance yet. A few species thrive in and around them human habitat. There are pests because they spoil food and contaminate it with their smiley excreta. They can transmit a variety of bacterial disease by contaminating food material. Now let us discuss about frogs. Frogs can live both on land and in fresh water and belongs to class Amphibia, phylum Chordata. The most common species of frog found in India is Rana tirgina. They do not have constant body temperature, that is, their body temperature varies with the temperature of the environment. Such animals are called cold-blooded or polychilotherms. You might have also noticed changes in the color of the frog while they are in grasses and are on dry land. They have the ability to change the color to hide them from their enemies. This protective coloration is called mimicry. You may also note that frogs are not seen during peak summer and winter. During this period, they take shelter in deep burrows to protect them from extreme heat and cold. This is known as a summer sleep, estivation, and winter sleep, hibernation, respectively. Now let us study the morphology of frog. Children, you have ever touched the skin of frog? Yes, the skin is smooth and slippery due to the presence of mucus. The skin is always maintained in a moist condition. The color of dorsal side of the body is generally olive green with dark irregular spots. On the ventral side of the skin is uniformly pale yellow. The frog never drinks water but absorbs it through the skin. The body of a frog is divisible into head and trunk. A neck and tail are absent. Above the mouth, a pair of nostrils is present. Eyes are bulged and covered by a nictitating membrane that protects them while in water. On either side of eyes, a membrane called tympanum, means ear receives sound signals. The forelimbs and hind limbs helps in swimming, walking, leaping and burrowing. The hind limbs ends in 5 digits and they are large and muscular than forelimbs that ends in 4 digits. Feet have webbed digits that help in swimming. Frogs exhibit sexual dimorphism. Male frog can be distinguished by the presence of sound producing vocal sac and also copulatory pad on the first digit on the forelimbs, which are absent in female frog. Now let us discuss the anatomy of frog. The body cavity of frog accommodate different organ systems such as digestive, circulatory, respiratory, nerve, excretory and reproductive system with well developed structures and function. The digestive system consists of alimentary canal and digestive glands. The alimentary canal is short because frogs are carnivores and hence the length of intestine is reduced. The mouth opens in buccal cavity that leads to esophagus through pharynx. Esophagus is a short tube that opens into the stomach, which is in turn continues as the intestine, rectum and finally opens outside by the cloaca. Liver secretes bile that is stored the bile bladder. Pancreas, a digestive gland, produces pancreatic juice containing digestive enzymes. Food is captured by the bilobed tongue. Digestion of food takes place by the action of HCl and gastric juices secreted from the walls of the stomach. Partially digested food called chyme is passed from the stomach to the first part of the small intestine, then the duodenum. The duodenum receives the bile from gallbladder and pancreatic juices from the pancreas through a common bile duct. Bile amplifies fat and pancreatic juices digest carbohydrates and proteins. Finally, digestion takes place in the intestine. Digested food is absorbed by the numerous finger-like fluids in the inner wall of intestine called villi and microvilli. The undigested solid waste removes in the rectum and passes out cloaca. Frog respires on land and in the water by two different methods. In water, skin acts as aquatic respiratory organs and dissolved oxygen in the water is exchanged through the skin by diffusion. On land, the buccal cavity, skin and lungs act as the respiratory organs. The respiration by frog is called pulmonary respiration. Lungs are a pair of elongated pink color sac-like structures present in the upper part of the trunk region, means thorax. Air enters through the nostrils into the buccal cavity and then open to lungs. During estivation and hibernation, gases exchange takes place through the skin. The vascular system of frog is well developed close to type. Frog have a lymphatic system also. The blood vascular system involves heart, blood vessels and blood. The lymphatic system consists of lymph channels and lymph nodes. Heart is a muscular structure situated in the upper part of the body cavity. It has 3 chambers, 2 arteria and 1 ventricle and it is covered by a membrane called pericardium. A triangular structure called the sinus venosus joins the right atrium. It receives blood through the major veins called the vena cava. The ventricle opens into a sac-like cones arteriosus on the ventral side of heart. The blood from the heart is carried to all parts of the body by the arteries. The vein collects the blood from different parts of the body to the heart and from the venous system. A special venous system connection between liver and intestine as well as the kidney and the lower parts of the body are present in frog. The former is called hepatic portal system and the later is called renal portal system. The blood is composed of plasma and cells. The blood cells are RBC, erythrocytes, WBC, white blood cells, leukocytes and platelets. RBC is nucleated and contained red color pigment, namely hemoglobin. The lymph is different from the blood. It lacks few proteins and RBC. The blood carries nutrients, gases, and waters to respective sites during the circulation. The circulation of blood is achieved by the pumping action of the muscular heart. The elimination of nitrogenous waste is carried out by a well developed excretory system. The excretory system consists of a pair of kidneys, ureters, cloaca, and urinary bladder. These are compact, dark red, and bean like structures situated a little posteriorly in the body cavity on both sides of vertebral column. Each kidney is composed of several structures and functional units called uniferous tubules or nephrons. Two ureters emerge from the kidney in the male frog. The ureters act as urinogenital ducts which opens into the cloaca. In females, the ureters and oviducts open separately. In the cloaca, thin-walled urinary bladder is present ventral to the rectum which also opens to the cloaca. The frog excretes urea and thus it is urotylic animal. Excretory wastes are carried by the blood into kidneys where it is separated and excreted. The system for control and coordination is highly evolved in the frog. It includes both the neural system and endocrine glands. The chemical coordination of various organs of the body is achieved by hormones which are secreted by the endocrine glands. The prominent endocrine glands found in frog are pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, thymus, pineal body, pancreatic islets, adrenals, and gonads. The nerve system is originated into central nervous system. Consists of brain, spinal and cord. A peripheral nerve system and then autonomic nerve system means sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve system is present. There are 10 pairs of cranial nerves arising from the brain. A brain is enclosed in a bony structure called brain box. The brain is divided into forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. The forebrain includes olfactory lobes, paired cerebral hemispheres and unpaired dencephalon. The midbrain is characterized by a pair of optical lobes. Hindbrain consists of cerebellum and medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata passes throughout the foramen magnum and contains into spinal cord which is enclosed into a vertebral column. Frog has 3 different types of sense organs, namely organs of touch, sensory papillae, taste, smell, vision, hearing, etc. Out of these, eyes and internal ears are well organized structures and the rest are cellular aggregations around the nerve ending. Eye is a frog or a pair spherical structure situated in the orbit in skull. There are simple eyes possessing only one unit. Example, external ear is absent in frog and only tympanum can be seen externally. The ear is an organ of hearing as well as balancing equilibrium. Frogs have well organized male and female reproductive systems. Male reproductive organs consist of a pair of yellowish ovoid testes which are found adhered to the upper part of kidneys by a double fold of peritoneum called mesotrochium. Vasa effertia are 10 to 12 in number that are arises from testes. They enter the kidneys on the side of and opens into Widder canal. Finally, it communicates with the urinogenital ducts that comes out from the kidneys and opens into cloaca. The cloaca is small median chamber that is used to pass fecal matter, urine and sperms to the exterior. The female reproductive organs included a pair of ovaries. The ovaries are situated near kidneys and there is no functional connection with kidneys. A pair of oviduct arising from the ovaries opens into the cloaca separately. A mature female can be lay 2500 to 3000 ova at a time. Fertilization is external and takes place in water. Development involves a larva stage called tadpole. Tadpole undergoes metamorphosis to form the adult. Frogs are beneficially for mankind because they eat insects and protect the crop. Frogs maintain ecological balance because these serve as an important link of food chain and food web in the ecosystem. In some countries, the muscular legs of frogs are used as food by man. Summary: cells, cell tissues, organs, and organ systems split up the work in a way that ensures the survival of the body as whole and exhibit division of labor. A tissue is defined as a group of cells along with intercellular substance performing one or more functions in the body. Epithelia are a sheet-like tissues lining the body surface and its cavities and ducts and tubes. Epithelia have one free surface facing of body fluid or the outside environment. Their cells are structurally and functionally connected at junctions. Diverse types of connective tissue bend together, support, strengthen, protective, and insulated the other tissues in the body. Soft connective tissues consist of protein fibers as well as a variety of cells arranged in an ground substance. Cartilage, bone, blood, and adipose tissue are specialized connective tissue. Cartilage and bone are both structural material. Blood is a fluid tissue with transport functions. Adipose tissue is the receiver of stored energy. Muscle tissue, which can contract in response to stimulation, helps in movement of the body and specific body parts. Skeletal muscle is a muscle tissue attached to bones. Smooth muscle is a component of internal organs. Cardiac muscles make up the contractile walls of the heart. Connective tissue covers all the three types of tissues. Nerve tissue exerts greatest control over the response of the body. Neurons are the basic units of nerve tissue. Earthworm, cockroach, and frog shows characteristic features in the body organization. In Perithema postuma, the body is covered by cuticle. All segments of its body are like except 14th, 15th, and 16th, which are thick and dark and glandular, forming the ciliatium. A ring of S-shaped chitinous setae is found in each segment. This setae is help in locomotion. On the ventral side of sperma openings are present in between the grooves of 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th and 8th and 9th segments. Female genital pores are present on 14th segment and male genital pores are present on 18th segment. The alimentary canal is a narrow tube made up of mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, gizzard, stomach, intestine and anus. The blood vascular system is of closer type of with heart and valves. Nerve system is represented by ventral nerve cord. Earthworm is a hermaphrodite. Two pairs of testes occurs in the 10th, 11th segment respectively. A pair of ovaries are present on 12th, 13th intersegmental septum. It is a protandrous animal with cross-fertilization. Cross-fertilization and development takes place in cucans secreted by the glands of ciliatellum. The body of cockroach is covered by chitinous exoskeleton. It is divided into head, thorax, abdomen. Segments bear joint appendages. There are three segments: thorax, head and abdomen. These are three segments of thorax, each bearing of a pair of walking legs. Two pairs of wings are present, one pair on each second and third segment. There are 10 segments in abdomen. Alimentary canal is well developed with a mouth surrounded by mouth parts like pharynx, esophagus, crop, zygote, midgut, hindgut and anus. Hepatic CCA are present at the junction of foregut and midgut. Malphizian tubules are present at the junction of midgut and hindgut and help in excretion. A pair of salivary gland is present near crop. The blood vascular system is of open type. Respiration takes place by network of tracheae. Trachea open outside with spiracles. Nerve system is represented by segmentally arranged ganglia and ventral nerve cord. A pair of testes is present in 4th and 6th segments and ovaries in 2nd and 6th segments. Fertilization is internal. Female produces 9 to 10 ootica bearing developing embryos. After rupturing a single ootica's 16 young ones called limbs come out. The Indian bullfrog Rana trigina is a common frog found in India. Body is covered by skin. Mucous glands are present in the skin which is highly vascularized and helps in respiration in water and on land. Body is divisible into head and trunk. A muscular tongue is present, which is bilobed tongue, which is bilobed at the tip, and it is used in capturing the prey. The alimentary canal consists of esophagus, stomach, intestine, rectum, which opens into cloacas. The main digestive glands are liver and pancreas. It can respire in water through skin and through lungs on land. Circulatory system is closed with a single circulation. RBC is nucleated. Nerve system is originated into central, peripheral and autonomic. The organs of neurogenital system are kidneys and neurogenital ducts which open into cloaca. The male reproductive organ is a pair of testes. The male reproductive organs is a pair of testes. The female reproductive organs is a pair of ovaries. Female lies 2500 to 3000 ova at a time. The fertilization and the development are external. The eggs hatch into tadpoles which metamorphoses into frogs. Thank you.